of late, social media has been ablaze with controversy from named female celebrities. Yes, concerning dress code and how a lady should handle herself, especially if she's in the public eye.
Me personally, I cannot even show even as little bit as my stomach because that's just how I grew up. I personally would not go that route. That's not what I believe in.
Your wedding did come with a lot of negative publicity. What would you say to that group of people?
Yeah, okay. I wasn't ready to tackle that topic, but anyway, let's talk about it.
How would you say he would approach a situation where you had to do somewhat sexual sin?
I haven't been challenged yet.
Love is crazy, girl, love is crazy. You are me, girl, you are messy. All the girls them only really want to play me.
What's good, Vazet? Welcome to the first episode of Lifestyle Corner, and I'm your host, Natasha. And on the show today, we have been graced with the presence of the beautiful, multi-talented, multifaceted linguistic queen, Mrs. Zowa N Musonda herself.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Good to be here.
First of all, I think congratulations are in order.
Thank you.
Yes, so we know so much has happened, so much we've seen you grow from one level to the next. So congratulations, graduations, marriage, babies.
Thank you. I mean, it's been busy, but yeah, I mean, you know, we got through it.
As life goes. So, in that vein, we've heard so much about Zowa the personality, Zowa the actress, Zowa the singer, and like I said, Zowa the linguist, because everyone seems to know you for, you know, how well you speak Eastern language. But in your own words, considering lifestyle changes in different seasons, so in the current season you are now, who would you say Zowa is?
Well, right now, first things first, I'm a mother. You know, I feel like that's top priority. You know, I'm a mother to a cute little girl, and that's really what I'm trying to just wrap my head around at the moment. I'm a wife, secondly, you know, I'm a graduate, thirdly, but you know, basically I'm just trying to, you know, balance all these things, you know, together, just trying to see where I could just strike a good balance, you know, being a good mom, being a good wife, you know, being obviously a good contribution to the community, you know, using my education not only for just the title, but you know, contributing positively to the community. So yeah, I'm just trying to find a balance.
Okay, wonderful. So would you say this life chose you, or you chose this life? Has this been the dream journey?
Well, it's been a mixture of everything. Certain things I chose, certain things happened to me, you know, but you know, at the end of the day, I think everything worked out for good because I'm enjoying every single moment of every single thing. So yeah, it chose me, but at the same time, I did accept it. So it's not, you know, forced on me or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's awesome. So, what we all would like to know, you've been not necessarily quiet, but then off grid for a while. So where does that leave our acting career?
Well, I'm not gonna give away too much, but yeah, you know, I had to take a break because obviously, you know, at the time I was carrying my little girl and I was quite busy, I was quite tired, and I was also doing my final exams at the same time. So I sort of just took a step back, you know, from work, and I was given leave just to, you know, get used to everything and, you know, settle down and graduate and have the baby and, you know, at least nurse her for a little while. But yeah, the acting part, I'm not going to give too much away, but that wasn't the last season.
So we'd like you to.
I will, don't worry.
Okay, that's awesome. So it's good to know that, you know, we'll still be expecting our favorite on the big screens.
Yep.
So that is still exciting to know. So, how has this transition worked for you?
It's been super difficult. I won't say it's been easy, you know, just transitioning from one point to another. It's been super difficult. It's been super tiring. It's taxing emotionally, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, once you wrap your head around something and you get used to it, yeah, you know, it's good. The transition's been difficult, but you know, I've gotten great support from work, from my boss, Mr. Frank. He's been really supportive in terms of giving me the time off that I needed to just transition smoothly with my family. My husband has been a huge support. My mom, my sister, my dad, everybody's just been, a huge backbone in terms of me, transitioning smoothly from one point to another. So yeah.
Okay, support system really important. You heard it here first, guys. It's not all glitz and glam.
Yep.
You need to come with your wits about you.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely. So you have shared a couple of times on your social media how being a public personality tends to be somewhat inconveniencing sometimes.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? And now that you're in a space where very soon everybody is going to be, we want to see the baby, and all that excitement. So how do you handle that?
Well, you have to have a strong backbone. That's one thing that I'm going to say. You really have to have, your neck needs to be strong, your shoulders need to be strong just to, carry the weight. Because at the end of the day, in Zambia, if a person is in the limelight or they're a celebrity, automatically your life belongs to everyone. Apparently. My life is not my own, so everything that I do has to be according to people. But I feel like it shouldn't be that way, because most times we are put under pressure. I was put under pressure for what wedding dress I should have worn. But that was my style. I'm a simple person, and that's what I wanted to wear. There was pressure about whether I should have gotten married when I was pregnant already, or whether I should have worn white or gray or pink or purple or whatever. There's all these standards that we have to conform to. And that makes our life really difficult, because I can't just be me. I have to be what people say. And when someone says, no, Tionenji or Zowa should do this, then I automatically have to adjust. But in total fact, I'm a different person, and I have the right to be myself. So I just feel like social media personalities really suffer in terms of that, because you can't be yourself. Yourself is not accepted. They want you to be a certain person, and they want to tell you what to do, tell you how to live your life, what to wear, what not to wear, whether to have a baby or not, whether to be married when you have a baby or not, and whether to go on honeymoon, all these things. They just want to dictate to you, and every day you live according to what they say. But then at the end of the day, you just have to have a strong backbone, trust yourself, love yourself, and just stick to it.
So in the same vein, you've talked about social media personalities, so over the past couple of days, weeks, there's been a lot of controversy, regarding certain female personalities on the internet. Like you said, everybody's expecting people to present themselves a certain type of way because you're in the public eye and public space. So would you say you have you ever gotten to a point where you felt the need to change yourself, to conform to what society, would rather you present yourself to be?
Well, I wouldn't say I reached breaking point, but I have gotten very close. I've gotten close to wanting to respond, first of all, to fans' comments, and just really just flip out and say, I have the right to get angry. I have the right to to respond to what these people are saying. I also but at the end of the day, like I said, a support system is very important, because even when I was reaching that point, that boiling point where I feel like, okay, you know what, I've had it. I had my husband there, I had my mom, they all tell me, calm down, this is what social media is about. A lot of people say a lot of things. They say things that, they want to impress others, and at the end of the day, if you choose to follow what they say, trust me, you will have multiple personalities. Because one person will say this today, the next will say that the next day, the next will say this the next day, and you end up losing yourself. You will have no stable personality. You will not even know who you are. You just find yourself, today you're gangster, today you're girly, today you're this, because everybody's got different opinions. So yeah, I almost got there, but thank God I didn't.
Well, thankfully we still have you.
Yeah.
As you are, in all your own authenticity.
Thank you.
Yes. So getting to academics, not many of us know much about what your plan is with that, but all we know is you are definitely a degree holder.
Yes.
So Bachelor's of Sciences, is it in Purchasing and Supply?
Yes, Purchasing and Supply.
Yes. So do you intend to pursue that career path anytime soon or the future?
Well, for me, I'm a little bit about going with the wind. So wherever the wind takes me, if an opportunity presents itself very attractive in my field of study, then maybe. If it doesn't, then maybe not. So yeah, I mean, I didn't only do my degree because of the impression that I might get a job or I might get employed or stuff like that. But I do believe that education helps in a lot of different ways. You know, once the money starts rolling in, you're an actress, you need to learn how to invest. These things are not inborn. You know, you learn how to invest, you learn how to handle your money, you learn how to negotiate. All those things are things that I learned, obviously, when I was doing my degree. So I feel like I'll use them even outside having a, you know, behind the desk job. I believe I will use my degree in every other way. So yeah.
Okay, it's good that you mentioned that you learned all these other, you know, qualities and to be professional in your career choice. So what advice would you give to a young lady, young girl, just anybody who would like to take the acting route, or just any you know, any path in the entertainment industry, and they feel my talent is enough, I don't need school, I don't need qualifications, I'm able to do this, I believe in myself, and I know that you know, I can make it with or without a degree, diploma, whatever the case may be.
Okay, you know, I always say it is possible, to make it without a degree, without a diploma, but it's always better to make it with one, because you know, you get to use all these skills. You know, you get to a point where you have to negotiate. They tell you, no, we're going to pay you this much for this role, and you know, as a person who knows their worth, you know what it's worth to be an actor. You know, you can negotiate your way. You can get a higher pay. You know, you can do your budgeting, you can do your accounts. No one has to lie to you. You know, at this point, no one can come to me and tell me nothing about nothing, because I mean, I'll sit there and I know to say, no, that's not how it goes. So people always have this impression that, you know, actors, actresses are maybe popo. You know, and for me, I wanted to break that notion, because even before I started acting, I always wanted to do academics. So even now, I got my degree, I'm still thinking of going for another one. I'll still go do my master's, I'll still go do my doctorate, because at the end of the day, I love it. So yeah, you can make it without a degree, but it's always better. It's always a plus. It's always beneficial to just have that extra push. You know, people respect you at the end of the day. You walk into a room, you're not just an actress, but you've got something, you know, in the background that's just backing you up. And yeah.
Absolutely. So it seems like you're all about breaking boundaries, setting trends, and just, you know, being an inspiration to be your most authentic and true self. So we can't you can't let much out of the bag concerning your career right now, but you know, we're optimistic. We will keep our ears open on the ground. So for now, what's next for Zowa?
Well, right now, like I said, I'm not completely done transitioning into my new, you know, newfound life. But you know, as I slowly get used to it, there's a few things that I have lined up. I'm not going to say much, but yeah, acting is not dead. You know, a lot of people want to say, oh, her husband stopped her from acting. No, you don't know anything about my husband, so yeah. No, he didn't stop me from acting, you know, just to clear that rumor out. Acting is not dead, singing is not dead, but just keep your eyes and ears open, and you'll see some things coming up soon. Okay,
definitely exciting times ahead. It's no secret, I'm sure you're aware, of late social media has been ablaze with controversy from named female celebrities. Yes, concerning dress code and how a lady should handle herself, especially if she's in the public eye. So we'd like to know your take on that as a lady and now a mother.
Wow, okay. You know, you've taken me by surprise. Anyway, you know, first of all, as a mother, how to answer this question?
Because there's this notion, you know, to say once you become a mother or you reach a certain stage in society, certain things have to change, and that includes dress code. So you can't dress a certain type of way, you can't present yourself a certain type of way.
You know, it is true, because you know, for me, I think everything boils down to the way someone was raised. You know, the principles and the morals that they grew up with. Me personally, I cannot even show even as little bit as my stomach because that's just how I grew up, you know. And now I've got this little girl who's eventually going to be looking up to me. She's gonna want to see what mom does. And like someone always says on social media, whatever you do on social media never dies. It lives forever. So people will see that stuff forever, no matter how long it's taken you to change, or whether you've changed in the future or you're a better person. It will always be on social media. So I feel like for me, it just boils down to how you're raised. I personally would not go that route. That's not what I believe in. That's not what I grew up with. Those are not my, kinds of, things that I would do on social media. But I mean, hey, let them do them. If that's what they believe in, whatever puts them to sleep at night, really. Absolutely.
So now, speaking of morals, so now to be a bit antagonistic. So your wedding did come with a lot of negative publicity. So, some people in the public would, would say you are one to speak about morals. What would you say to that group of people?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't ready to tackle that topic. But anyway, let's talk about it. At the end of the day, everyone is human. I will say that. Making mistakes is inevitable. I won't say that my child is a mistake. My child is not a mistake. I love my little girl. Her daddy loves her, and she came at the right time for me. So whether people want to say, I got married when I was pregnant, or whether I got married when I was not pregnant, at the end of the day, I've done what I wanted to do. My husband and I went through what we planned to do, and that's what matters.
Absolutely.
I did everything according to what I was supposed to do. I went the route in which I was supposed to do. If people know people from my church, speak to them if they want to. But at the end of the day, I did what I was supposed to do. I don't have to explain to anyone what I did. I don't have to go to people and say, I've repented, the Lord has forgiven me, the Lord Jesus. I don't have to do that because I don't owe anyone an explanation. It's my life and I control it. So what I did behind the scenes is really none of anybody's business. So if people want to talk about morals and me going against, let them do that. But as far as I'm concerned, I did what I had to do. That's all I'm going to say.
Way to shut down the naysayers. It's her way and no other way.
Yep.
So in the same vein, speaking of your acting career, we know the acting industry to be not so upright, for lack of a better term. We've heard rumors of people having to do certain things to acquire certain roles, certain positions, and attain certain privileges. Yes, so what would you have to say about that? Is that the reality of the industry in Zambia at the moment, or is it a far-fetched theory?
Well, it's not far-fetched. That I will say it is not too far from home, because I personally will speak for myself. I haven't had to do any of that because of the person that I work under. Mr. Frank, cut him off.
Professional.
He would never. He's professional. He works with all of us as colleagues. There's nothing else. That's what I can say about him. But I think there's certain rotten, groundnuts somewhere in the sack that have made the entire sack seem rotten. I don't know them personally, but I've heard stories. So I can't say that it's not the reality in Zambia. It is. But to who it happens to, they don't come up and say anything. They don't bring it to life because, of course, they want to protect themselves. Because usually, victims of such are usually, turned into the bad guys, and they're now turned into the villain. No, she wanted it, and she was flaunting herself, and she came wearing this, and she came wearing that. She asked me for this, so yeah, it happens in Zambia. It hasn't happened to me personally, but I won't say that it hasn't happened to others. But yeah.
Okay, so how would you advise somebody wanting to get into the industry to tackle that situation in the event that they find themselves in such a position?
One thing I'll say is don't be too desperate. One thing I've noticed about a lot of young ladies is they are so desperate to be famous. The hunger to be famous in Zambia is, it shocks me, because anyone would do anything. You know, at the end of the day, it ruins you. You know, it takes so much away from you that you just have to give something of yourself in order to just get that fame, or, you know, just become so famous and blow up. And, you know, this obsession with fame is usually what drives these men to take advantage of the young ladies who want to be famous. But all I can say is don't be too desperate. You know, things happen when they're supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
If it's yours, it will be yours eventually. But just don't go breaking yourself, you know, trying to get, you know, to that point. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. So you did mention that there's a lot in store for us to look forward to, but then we do know that the kind of industry that you're in can be quite taxing and involves a lot of time input. So how do you intend to manage that now, being a wife, a mother, running a home, and, you know, being a career woman?
Well, I'll say that I have a lot of inspiration from a lot of people. I mean, you know, just to mention one, I mean, look at Beyonce. I would say she's so much busier than I am, but she manages to take care of her husband, take care of her kids, and take care of everything else. So I think it all just depends on your mindset. I mean, I'm set out to do it. I'm determined. I'm definitely going to manage it. And like I said earlier, my husband is very supportive. He supports my acting career. He supports, you know, basically the things that I love to do. So he's definitely not going to be stopping me from doing anything. So that's at least one thing that I can say is a plus already, because most people say that your spouse influences what you can do and how far you can go. But for me, I think my spouse is really supportive, so that's definitely going to be, you know, it's going to be a good push in helping me just manage both and manage the family and all that. Yeah, I'm doing okay so far, I think. Yeah.
So what would you say to, you know, certain sections of society that say because you are now a married woman and because you are a mother now, that career path wouldn't necessarily, you know, resonate with our cultural norms, our traditions, because it expects you to do certain things that might not be considered appropriate?
Well, like I said, my spouse is supportive. So he understands that he found me in a certain career, you know. He found me doing a certain something. He found me studying a certain something. So I feel that sometimes when people do get married, they get married for the wrong reasons. They get married to change someone, or they have intentions of changing someone and making that person this thing that they want them to fit into. So I didn't get married to my husband to make him fit into my life, and he didn't do that, you know, vice versa. So one thing that people need to understand is that when you're married, you're two different people. You're still two different people.
Absolutely.
Yes, you become one, as the vows say, but you're still two different people. I still want to do certain things in life, and he also wants to pursue certain things in life. So that shouldn't stop me from doing it, and I shouldn't stop him from doing it. All we need to do is find a way to bring the two lives together, you know, to move in harmony. So his projects should move in harmony with my projects. So it shouldn't be, no, now that you're a wife, you now must be a housewife and you must stay at home and stop acting, and, you know, you can't do your makeup and you can't what. No, you know, you need to just find a way of moving in accord with your spouse.
Speaking of makeup, you really are rocking the natural look.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anyway, just by the way, this makeup was done by my very own younger sister. You know, she's been really working hard trying to just learn how to do makeup. So finally, she's gotten something, and, you know, just in case...
It's working.
Just in case anyone wants to, you know, get a hold of her, she's got a page on Instagram. It's called Beach Shack. Yeah, and you can actually follow her personal account. It's Nevea on Instagram.
Yeah, so get that right. Beat Shark. You can follow
these
like
names.
the page.
Anyway.
New generation, new lingo, new times.
Yep.
Exciting as always. So it's good to know that you have a partner who's very supportive, because this is a narrative we don't get to hear so often.
Yeah.
Yes, but then we know, you know, man is man. In that light, acting and its different facets.
Yeah.
How would you say he would approach a situation where you had to do a somewhat sexual scene? or intimate or get intimate with somebody else of the opposite sex?
Yo, I would hate to answer for my husband. But I personally, I haven't been challenged yet to do such a thing. But I believe that in acting, there's growth that has to happen. You have to grow, you have to evolve, you have to show your different skills in acting. And I believe that intimate scenes is another way of showing your skill, because I mean, you have to be professional, but on screen it has to look super real. So I would want to be challenged to do that. I don't know how my husband would take it, but I believe in his support. It has to be somewhere written in fine print that that's one of the things that I might have to do in the near future.
Spicy. So Mrs. Zowa isn't shying away from getting down and dirty in front of the camera, with restrictions, of course. Of course. Okay. Yeah, so we did hear that your page had gotten hacked, but you do have a new page now. So anybody wanting to interact or has been missing out on the Zowa action, how do they do that?
Yeah, so like you just said, my page got hacked. Unfortunately, I have failed to recover it, but that's fine because I'm in the process of growing another page. So on Facebook, my new page is Zowa N Musonda. That's my new page, Zowa N Musonda. So people can follow me there. The good part is my Instagram is intact, so my TikTok is still intact, so people can still follow those ones. But yeah, I'm in the process of growing that page, so people can catch me there.
So TikTok and Instagram is the same?
Yeah, it's just the same.
Zowa N Musonda or?
No. On Instagram, I am Zapmello.
Zapmello.
Yeah, that's a really old name. You know, it's got a story, but that's for another day. Yeah, and TikTok is Zowa Ngwira, so they can just search that. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. So don't forget to follow, like the page, Zowa N Musonda on Facebook and Instagram as well as TikTok. And don't forget to like and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Z Corner TV, as well as Z Corner Facebook, Z Corner TV, and Z Corner. So this has been a Lifestyle Corner. I'm your host, Natasha. Until next time.
Love is crazy, girl, your love is crazy. You are me, girl, you are Messi. All the girls, them only really want to play me.